Let's begin our session for the day. And like as we discussed in our last session, if you remember yesterday, I told you about uh, the layouts, basically layouts. You can say the application type, the console application. For example,
Yeah.
the service. We have two different ways, like service and service console. That's a that's the application style. That how the application looks like. This is one way, and that's a navigation actually. That's a console navigation. This one, and that's a standard navigation. Okay, we used to call it as a standard navigation. This one, and what's the difference between standard navigation and console navigation? That we also need to figure it out. In a standard navigation, all the objects will be placed one after another. Okay, the object will be placed in this navigation bar, and if we preview and if we want to preview any record, so what we have to do, we have to open that object, click on that object, get a list of all the records we have. These all are the records, and then what we can do, we can preview one record at a time. Yeah, we can preview one record at a time. Get it? If I click on this first record, I would be able to preview only one record. So I would be able to preview this record, and if I want to see next record, what we have to do is we have to navigate back to the object, and then only we can preview second record. That is a standard navigation. And in console navigation, what happened? We can preview multiple records. Multiple records in terms of what do you mean by multiple records? Yeah. Anyway, so console navigation, I've already told you the console navigation. And in console navigation, what happened in console navigation, we can preview multiple records simultaneously. And okay, so why we are talking about this navigation style? Because while we set up a new custom application, whenever we create a new custom application or whenever we build a new custom application, that time we have to decide whether we want to go for a custom application or we want to build a standard navigation, like a standard navigation or console navigation. What navigation style do we want to opt? This console one or the standard navigation style? So that depends on the requirement. Okay, that depends on business requirement. That what navigation style do we want to opt? Right. So as we discussed that we have standard applications. Standard application means the pre-built applications which are predefined by Salesforce, and the three main standard applications are service, marketing, and sales. These are the three main applications we have. But apart from this, let's suppose I need a custom business solution for my client or for my business. So let's suppose the application we are going to discuss here is, let's suppose I'm planning to manage the hiring activities. Now, tell me one thing. Let's suppose if a company decided to go for a hiring activities, they want to hire new employees. They would like to manage the recruitment activities within an organization. Okay, so they need an application. They need a platform. They need an application to manage all the records. So right now in Salesforce, we do not have any ready-to-use application for that. Therefore, we decided to build a new custom application. Clear? So what we required? We required an application, number one. Within application, we need objects. Now, we can use the existing objects. For example, in a custom application, I can add accounts, I can add contacts, I can add cases. But are they useful? Are they related to our business requirement? Do you think so? That is, are they related to the business requirement? Definitely no, because as I mentioned, the requirement is to build a custom application or to build an application for managing the recruitment activities. But here, the standard applications we have, these applications or these objects, they are relevant to the sales, service, and marketing. So they are not going to help us out. So therefore, uh, I'm not going to use any standard objects. So I need to create a custom object. Okay, I need to create a new custom object. So let's have a look. How do we create custom objects, custom applications, and custom objects in Salesforce? So the first of all, we require a custom application. And in order to create a custom application, we need to have the admin permission, admin or the development permissions. If we don't have the admin permission or if we don't have the developer permission, we'll not be able to create a new custom application or will not be able to build a custom solution. So if we require, if we need to perform some, if we need to create applications, or if you want to do any sort of customization, it is required. Clear? Now let's have a look. How do we create custom application? So in order to create custom application, we need to get back to setup because see, we are on an application right now, and we can only use the application. But as I mentioned, that the requirement is to build custom solutions. So therefore, I switch to setup. I navigate to setup, and in setup, we'll be going to build a new custom application. So let's have a look. How do we create a new custom application in Salesforce? Let's check it out. Okay. So in order to create a new custom application in Salesforce, what we have to do, we need to navigate. See, I'm into setup right now. Setup, home, and in quick find, I just look search for app manager. App manager. Now, what do you think? What could be app manager? App manager means it helps to manage the applications. It helps us to manage the existing applications. It helps us to create custom applications or new custom applications. But in our last session, I mentioned that the standard applications are not customizable. Okay, we cannot customize a standard application, especially the names cannot be changed. But can we add objects? Yes, we can. Can we add fields in the? Can we add more custom fields in the standard objects? Yes, we can. But can we remove the existing fields from the standard objects? No, we can't because the existing fields, all fields will be standard. So anything which is a standard, whether it's a standard application, standard object, standard fields, neither we can customize nor we can remove. Okay? Edit or delete, not allowed. We can only use that. So now as you can see, we got a list of applications. So right now there are 28 items. These all are existing one. We do not have any custom application yet, but now it's time to create a new custom application. So let's have a look. How do we create a custom application in Salesforce? And either you can basically either you can note down the steps somewhere in a notebook. Okay, maybe some just like when you sit with the session, you can keep a notepad aside and you can just write down the step, note down the steps, so that when you practice, you don't have to go through the video again. Or else, if you want to follow the video, that's fine. So I'm trying to create a new custom application. So how do we get a custom application? Here it is, new Lightning app. Okay, new Lightning app. So when I click on new Lightning app, this will open one window, this one, a pop-up. Now in this pop-up, we have to complete a wizard. Like we have to complete this wizard. See this. There are five, it's a five-step wizard. Step number one, step number two, step number three, step four, and step five. So it's a five-step wizard. And we have to complete this wizard, right? We have to complete this wizard. And once the wizard gets completed, our application will be created. Our application gets created. Let's see how do we create this application. So first of all, we need to specify a name. One thing, name and developer name, and these two are required. The app name and the developer name. So, like as I mentioned yesterday, that two applications, two objects, their labels can be same, but their API name, the system names cannot be same. See, what is the app name? This name appears in the navigation bar, so your users can see the name of app they are currently. Got it? This one, app name. And what is the developer name? It is used by the APIs. You know the system names. The That's the system names or the programming names, and these names will be unique, and it must be unique across all the applications. So therefore, two applications, their labels can be same, their app name can be same, but their developer name cannot be same. For example, let's check it out. When I scroll down and see the sales lightning. Have a look. Sales and sale. Their label is same. App name is same. This is same, but their developer name they are not same. This is sale lightning sales. So this is basically it's a classic application. It's a lightning application. And in even in This is service and service console series. Service and service lightning service console. You can just follow this one. Sales. Their app name is same, but their developer name will not be same. It should be unique. So in same manner, we can create many applications with same app names, but their developer names cannot be same. So let's create an application now. I create new Lightning application, new Lightning app, and I just give name as HR recruitment. Recruitment. Also, there are certain rules to write down to specify the names. You can say there we have to there is a rule for the naming conventions. What's that? For example, the rule is uh, that's the rule. If I add a space and try to move next, that's the rule. The developer name field can only contain underscores and alphanumeric characters. It must be unique, begin with a letter, not included spaces, cannot end with an underscore, and cannot contain two consecutive underscores. So that's a rule. And now, and this rule will be applicable whenever we create an application, object, field, any functionality we implement, whether automation, security, or validations, anything, any customization we'll be doing in Salesforce. This rule will be same because there also we have to define the name and the API name, the label and the API name. So this the name this rule will be same for the API names in Salesforce. HR underscore recruitment. We can add a description if you want. We can add a description. Also, one more thing. And when we click on this app launcher, we get a list of the applications. As you can see, that's a list of applications. And in this list of applications, when I click on view all, this will open app launcher. This one. This will open app launcher, and we can get a list of all the applications we have. We get a list of all the applications. Now, when we create a custom application, so that application will also place here, and how that application looks like. See this is the app launcher preview. HR recruitment, and you can see name, icon, and description. So we can also add a description. I just write here custom app to manage recruitment activities. Okay, that's a description. Now, as you can see, the icons, we can change the icons. And in order to change the icons, what we can do, we can download an icon. We can download an image on our local drive and upload it. So here it is. It is upload. So now I'm going to upload an image from my local drive. So I click on upload. So I'm going to upload an image from my system. So click on upload. So I just add a logo, and now the application will look like this. Okay. So the application will look like this. So basically in app launcher. And this will be the icon of an application. So whatever icon we add, so right now you can see the service console, service application. The icon is this one. This is the icon, the app logo. This one. So this is the way we can change the app logo also. So whatever logo we assign, this logo will reflect here. This logo will reflect here. Get it? This one, app logo. So this is step number one. Clear to all of you? That's a step number one. Now, next step is very important because the next step, remember I've told you about the navigation style. So here you can control, here you can decide the navigation style, or here you can select the navigation style. What navigation style do you want to set? Right? What navigation style? So we have standard navigation and console navigation. This one, standard and console navigation. By default, it's a standard navigation, and if it is if it is required, we can change it to console right now. And remember one thing: once we set this navigation and save this application, and if I get back to edit this application, it is not possible to edit this setting again. Let me show you. For example, for a time being, I click on next, next. I'll just follow this step again. I'm just showing you one thing. Like, if is it possible to edit this? So I simply save and finish. See, I just completed all the steps. See, this app is ready. What's the app name? HR Recruitment. Check it out. Here it is. HR Recruitment app. It's a custom app, and because it's a custom app, so it is possible to delete it. And is it possible to edit it? Yes, we can edit. I click on edit. I click on edit, and when I click on edit, it will open up builder, the app builder. It will open it will open up builder again in order to edit this application. We can edit the application by customizing all the steps one by one. And see, that's the first thing. This is the step number one, where we can specify the app details and all other things. App option. We can manage all other settings, but see this standard navigation. This cannot be changed now. So this cannot be changed. So it is not possible to edit this setting. It is not possible to customize this setting. Is that clear?
Yeah, yeah, understood. Clear,
So
but
like
could
this
you know
way,
that a reason why they
the
are not,
reason
I
is
mean,
because
other navigation?
they fix it. They do not. Okay, so they have fixed it. There is no specific reason because they didn't mention anything about it that why that's so. But they want. There are many. Not only this, actually, there are many other options in Salesforce that once we have set this up, and if we edit those options, if we try to edit those options again, we can't edit it. So the only solution is delete this application and then recreate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually based on the customer experience, right? We don't know if they liked it initial approach. Or not.
Actually, usually
It's
what
if it
happened, almost 99% customer they prefer to go with the standard navigation instead of console one.
okay.
Especially only with the service one, they prefer to go with the console navigation.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so that's the step number two. So in step number two, you don't have to make much changes. Only okay, one thing is the navigation. The next is the supported form factors, and supported form factors mean because the Salesforce application can be accessed both on desktop as well as on phone. Okay, so this application can be accessed both on desktop as well as on mobile phones. And if you want to access Salesforce on mobile phones, so we used to have the Salesforce app on Play stores. So if you go to Play Store and if you go to Play Store and look for the application for Salesforce app is available. And what we can do then, we can log in into Salesforce using our credentials. So what does this mean? This means that whether the application we are setting it up, the objects we are going to create, the forms within the objects, whether whether the application we are setting it up. So this application supports the forms to be accessed on mobile phones or only on desktop. So I just select both of them, desktop and phone. So that means this application can be accessed both on desktop as well as on phone. And when we do that, the forms we design in this those forms will be available in both the ways for desktop and phone as well. So that can be accessed on both desktop and on phone, mobile phone. Because you know that the desktop resolution is higher than the mobile phone speed, but it will adjust automatically. The forms which we create, the objects which we create, that those objects and the objects and the the forms will be adjusted automatically. The resolution will get adjusted automatically. Salesforce. There's a Salesforce app. We can download this app. Get it? Okay. Then we have setup experience. So what is setup experience? As you can see, we got the setup option. Setup and service setup. This is setup and this is for service setup. So setup experience, by default, we want setup or we want service setup. Now, what is the setup experience? Select or change the default setup experience for your Lightning app. The default setup experience will be listed first in the gear menu when in the Lightning app. So which one do we want first here? Setup one or the service setup one? So I want setup at the first position. So here setup. Clear? Which one do we want? And app personalized settings. Basically, what is this? App personalization settings. Disable end user personalization of navigation in this app. For example, let me open an application called Sales application. This is my application. That's a standard. This uses standard navigation. And in this application here, in this application, you can see this small icon. Here it is. There's a small icon. Basically, this personalize your navigation bar. They are talking about this. Disable end user personalization of navigation item. What is this personalize your navigation bar? Yesterday, I think yesterday or in previous session, one of you asked me, is it possible to use the same object with multiple applications? So this is the option. With the help of this option, we can add the objects which is not available here. Now, for example, we have lead. See, there. Do we have cases? Cases is there. If I want to add any other if I want to add any other object, see market like we have campaign leads. Okay, when I click here on this personalize your navigation bar and click on add more items, we can add objects, standard or custom object. But right now we don't have custom object, so only standard object will be available. So I can add standard objects. Click on all. See, if I want, I can add objects. For example, I select invoices and click on add one navigation item and save. And you can see this invoice was not available. This was not added earlier, but now it's added. The invoices. Invoices. So do we want this option to be available or not? So if we don't want this option to be available, we can check this option. Then what happened? This option will not be available with our custom application. So this option will be disabled. Clear? And disable temporary tabs for items outside of this app. Temporary tabs means any temporary tabs which does not belong to this application. We do not want those tabs to be added. For example, see whenever we use this option, so one thing, if I click here again, you can see all the applications. Can you see a difference between all the other objects and this one invoice one? Any difference? You can see there's a cross symbol. There's a cross sign in front of invoices, and there will be no cross sign in front of all other objects. What's the reason? The reason is all these objects will be added while creating the application, but this object we added by using this personalize your navigation bar. This considered to be as a temporary tab. Clear, everyone? This considered to be as a temporary one. So if I want, I can remove this and save this. Get it? Okay. That's the second app option. Now, third step is utility items. Now, what exactly is this utility items? Basically, utility items we see. First of all, this utility items will be available only for desktop. Okay. This will be available only for desktop. So that means whatever customization we'll be doing here, those items, those settings will not be available for mobile phones. And what is the utility items? The utility bar is a fixed footer that opens components in a dock panel, available only when the app is viewed in the lighting experience. That means this utility items means this is a bar which appears like this at the bottom of the application. See, right now you can see we have a to-do list. Okay, there's a to-do list. We can click on this and we can get a list of options to to-do list. In this item, in the same status bar, I would like to add more items. More items, like for example, I just want to display more. I just want to display the recent records. Okay, I just want to display the recent record from a custom object. But right now we don't have a custom object, so therefore I just want to display the recent opportunities. Clear? I want to display recent opportunities. And how can I do that? So in order to do this, I click on add utility items. And from here, I select recent items. And in recent items, by default, The object which is added is when you scroll down, the default object is API anomaly event store. I don't want this. I want I want opportunity. So I click on select and remove this API anomaly event store object. And instead of this, I just add opportunities, opportunity object. Let's suppose if you want to display most recent leads, so we can add a lead object also. Clear to you, all of you? Lead and opportunity. I added two objects, lead and opportunities. Number of records to display, three records, and label as recent leads and opportunities. Save this. That's step number three. Sorry, step number three. Desktop only. Step number four. Step number four is navigation items. Okay, tell me one thing. What are we doing? What are we doing right now? We'll be creating a custom application. Am I right? We are creating a custom application. And in that custom application, did we add any object right now? Did we give instructions that we would like to add this? We would like to add any existing objects?
No, no.
No, we haven't. And the question is, do we are we interested in adding the standard objects in our custom applications? Do we want to do that? So that depends. If we would like to add the standard objects in our custom application, we have to add objects from here. Let's suppose, for example, see the application here. This application starts with home. Home is like a home page. Home is like a home page. And here also I would like to add a home. That's the default one. Home. I select home and select it. But we have other objects like opportunities. These all are standard objects. So do we want to place standard objects here? Yes or no? No, I don't want. If we want, we can add it. Now, for example, if I want to add opportunity, the standard object, we can add it. Opportunities, I can add it if it is needed. But if it is
Sorry,
not
Sumit.
required, hmm,
Sorry, Sumit, can you hear me? Sorry. In the previous steps, utility items, if you can
hmm.
go back,
Let me
there
finish
is
this
one
because
option.
let me save this.
Sure,
Yeah, let me
sure.
finish this. Let me save this first. So I was just talking about is that we have to add the objects, the standard objects. So I'm not interested in I'm not interested in any of the standard objects. So therefore, I just add only home tab like home because home it does not belongs. See, home is like a home page. It's not a specific page. It's just like a home page. So I just add a home here. Click on save. Okay, and let me finish this last option also. Then I'll come back to this. What is this user profile? This is related to the security that who all can access this application. See this. Choose the user profile that can access this app. These all are the available profiles, and that's the selected one. Do we have added any profile in the selected one? No, it's a blank. We didn't add any profile in the selected one. So therefore, even though I'm an administrator, see, there's an option called administrator. If I add administrator, then what happened? If I move this profile from left to right, then what happened? Only system administrator will be able to access this application, no other profile users. But let's suppose if I remove this also, then what happened? No one will be able to access this application. Even though I'm an administrator, still I will not be able to access this application. Access means if we do not add any profile, even though if I do not add system administrator, then when we click on app launcher, I will not be able to find out this application over there. Let me show you. I click on save. Okay. And when we refresh, our application is ready. Let's check it out. When I click on this app launcher, view all, and uh, view all,
HR recruitment.
extra recruitment. HR. Okay, actually, I need to refresh this. Let me try it. Let me refresh this one. So what happened? I added this and click on App Launcher, View All. Okay, see this. I got it. Why? See, no app, no HR recruitment is coming up. Why? What's the reason? See, when we search for HR recruitment application, the application is not listed out. Why it is not listed out? This is the reason. Because you see, we didn't permit, we didn't allow to access this application by any of the profile users. Okay,
Yeah.
got it? So now if I give permission for the administrator and click on save and refresh, click on this app launcher, view all, and recruitment application. See this? See this? It's visible now. It's accessible. So that's why what we have to do, we have to give permission to access the application. And how can we give a permission? We can give permission like this. That's the way we can assign, we can allow the users to access the application. We can allow the profile users to access our application. That's the way.
So the profiles you have mentioned, right? That's a Salesforce predefined profiles are showing over there. So if you
That's
want, we can create
predefined
a
profile.
custom profiles.
We can create a, yes, yes, we can create. We can create custom.
Yeah, I think Riaz have a question here. Go ahead.
Yes, Riyas, you're asking, you have a question in
Yeah, in
utilities,
the
right?
utility section, there is one utility bar alignment, default or mirror. What is that mirror one? Yeah, on the top. Yeah, the mirror one.
Utility.
Mirrored.
This is utility bar alignment actually. Default one means it will add like this. Let me go back. Let me show you this. For example, if you open an application, HR recruitment application, I open this in a new tab. And right now, let's check this. Yeah, see, this is the utility item. Right now, you can see. Okay, this is the utility item. Now, what if I just change this? That's the default one. And if I just change this to mirrored one, and let's refresh this here. This is the mirrored one. This, this. Mirrored one means on the opposite side. Like when we look into mirror, it looks in a different side. Okay, that is the difference. Get it?
Mhm.
By default, it is on this side. But when we say the mirrored one, that means it appears on right side. If okay, that is mirrored here. Here we can see the here we can get this. That is the only option. That is the only difference. Mirrored and this. The default one will be on this side. Default will be on left side here. And now, and if you keep a mirror in front of this, what happen? It will be on right. It looks like that it is on right side. Okay, so that is the difference. That is the use of this mirror option. Get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the only thing. Now you can see our application is ready, but this application is blank. This application is blank. Only home tab is there. What about the custom objects. Do we have any custom objects? No, not yet. But can we add, okay, can we add standard objects into this? If I want to add any standard object, can I do that? Let me show you. For example, I click on navigation items, and from here I add accounts. See this, I add a custom, I added a standard object name as account. When I refresh the application, we can see the accounts here. Get it? And this option is also there, the navigation, personalize the navigation bar. We can click on this, we can add more items, and I can add a custom object from here also. For example, I just want to add, let's say, cases or campaigns and add one navigation items and save this. See this. Two objects, two standard objects. And when I click on navigation bar, I'm able to remove only this one, campaign one. Why I'm not able to remove this accounts? Because this accounts we added by using this option. That's why.
Can you please repeat? So campaign and account both are this, the standard objects only, but campaign able to remove, but account not.
Yes. Yes. Why? Why? Because we added campaign by using this option, navigation bar. This one.
Hmm.
We
But
use this
account
option
being
to add a
added.
campaign. An account we added from here. See, there is no campaign available here. See,
Okay.
it's a temporary.
So
This will be a temporary. This will be a temporary tab, temporary object. We can
so
remove this
that means
anytime. I can remove this. See this.
so
This remove. But in
I
order
mean
to, yeah,
objects being added in the two places, one from the navigation, one for the app builder. That's what you see.
right, right. And okay. For example, let's say you are not an administrator, you are an end user. Let's take it like this. You are an end user. Get it? And now and I'm an administrator. I give you access on an application, and on that the application name is recruitment application. And right now there is one account object that's the default one. But now you want to see the now you want to see the campaign. You want to access campaign object. So there are two possible ways. Either you will request to me that I need to access campaign also. Can you please add that? Then what I'll do, I'll navigate back to the app builder. So I'll edit this application navigation items and I add a campaign from here. That is the first possible way. I just add a campaign from here like this. Clear? And the second way is if you don't want to communicate, if you don't want to get in touch with the admin, you can add an object by yourself. You can add a temporary object by yourself, and later on you can remove that. So you click on this, add a temporary object by clicking on add more items. You can add it as on requirement. Any object you require, you can add it, and whenever it is not needed, you can remove that. Clear? That is the difference between these two options.